Picture this. You're suddenly hit with a legal dispute over your property line. Or maybe you're rushing to refinance your mortgage to lock in an amazing rate. But you realize you don't have your property deed. Yikes, right? Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to dive into exactly how to get your hands on one of the most absolutely crucial legal documents you can own here in Fairfax County.
You know that sudden, urgent panic? The one where you need to prove you actually own your home for a major life event, like getting your kids registered for school, and you literally have no idea where your deed is? A lot of us just assume, hey, I pay a mortgage, I don't need the deed, or we think a property tax bill will do the trick. Well, actually, scratch that. The reality is way stricter, and honestly, it can be kind of frustrating if you aren't prepared.
Just look at what local Fairfax residents have been saying online. When it comes to things like Fairfax County Public Schools registration, having a physical copy of your actual deed is just incredibly important. Some places might cut you a break and take a mortgage statement, but others? No way. They will bounce your application right back without that official recorded deed. Having it right there in your hands is your ultimate undeniable proof of ownership. So here is our roadmap for today's Explainer. We'll start by decoding your property deed, then we'll find your deed coordinates, walk through the Fairfax retrieval process, calculate the fees and costs, go over some troubleshooting and pro tips, and finally wrap up with resources and a quick legal disclaimer.
All right, let's jump right into part 1. Decoding your property deed. What exactly are we looking at here? When you strip away all that dense legalese, the definition is surprisingly simple. It's basically the official, recorded proof of your property transfer. Think of it like this. If John sells his house to Jane, the deed shows John as the grantor, the one selling, and Jane as the grantee, the one buying. It spells out the exact boundaries, the sale price, and any legal limitations. It's the piece of paper that definitively says to the world, this is mine.
Now, there's a massive difference between the two most common types of deeds you're going to run into. A warranty deed is essentially your shield. It gives you full protection, guaranteeing that the person selling the home actually owns it and can give it to you without any hidden claims popping out of the woodwork. On the flip side, a quitclaim deed just transfers whatever rights the owner might have. It comes with absolutely zero guarantees about the title status. So yeah, very different tools for very different situations.
Moving right along to part 2, finding your deed coordinates. Let's figure out how to locate your specific record in the county's massive system. Okay, before you can request anything from the county, you have to use their free iCare system to locate your unique deed coordinates. You're looking for something like Book 26377, page 0544. And you might be wondering, why can't I just ask the clerk to find it? Well, get this, the clerk's office is legally prohibited from doing a title search for you. It's a really surprising legal hurdle, but you literally have to provide them with the exact book and page number yourself. Luckily, the iCare tax assessment lookup system is updated twice a week. You just type in your address, click over to the Sales History tab, and write down those magic numbers. Which brings us to part 3, the Fairfax retrieval process. Let's actually get that document into your hands. Now here is a fascinating little legal twist. You'd think you could just submit a standard Freedom of Information Act, or FOIA, request online, right? Well, actually, a standard FOIA request for your deed will get straight up denied. Land records in Virginia are explicitly exempt from standard FOIA procedures. The reason? They're already legally designated as public records that are open to inspection under the Virginia Code. So you have to play by the specific rules set by the clerk of the court. So how do you do it? Well, there are 3 official routes to grab that paper. The absolute fastest way is in person at the Land Records Division. That's located in Suite 317 on the 3rd floor of the Fairfax Courthouse. If you prefer the phone, you can call their dedicated line. Just hit option 3 and then 3 again. Just a heads up, there's a 4% credit card surcharge for that one. Or, if you're not in a rush, you can request it by mail using their specific form. That takes about 2 weeks, and you'll need to include a self-addressed stamped envelope. Let's talk numbers in part 4, calculating fees and costs. Here's exactly what you'll need to pay. You'll be happy to hear the baseline fee for a certified document is an incredibly reasonable $2. Plus, there's just a tiny 50-cent charge for every single page of the document. So if you've got a standard 2 to 4 page deed, you are literally looking at spending less than $5 for the whole shebang. But, and this is a big but, the payment restrictions are incredibly strict. Notice how personal checks are absolutely banned across all retrieval methods. No exceptions. If you show up in person, bring cash, a business check, or a money order. Paying over the phone, it is strictly Visa or MasterCard. And if you decide to mail your request in, please do not send cash or write down your credit card number. You have to use a cashier's check, business check, or money order and make sure it's payable to the clerk of the court.
All right, moving to part 5, troubleshooting and pro tips, because, bureaucracy isn't always perfectly smooth.
Let's run through some rapid-fire pro tips just in case things go sideways. Say you're in a rush for school registration and you literally just bought the house. Settlement statements from your title company, like an ALTA or HUD statement, are often accepted as proof of ownership while you're waiting for the official deed to be recorded. Now, what if your recorded deed is somehow missing a page? You actually have to re-record the entire deed with a brand new cover sheet attached. And here's one people ask all the time. How do I get a new deed when I pay off my mortgage? Well, your deed actually doesn't change. Instead, your lender files a certificate of satisfaction to prove that the lien is gone.
Finally, part 6, resources and our legal disclaimer. Let's talk about protecting your most valuable asset.
Title fraud is a very real and honestly growing issue right now. To protect yourself, you absolutely need to sign up for VA Deed Alerts. This is a totally free service that acts as an early warning system, sending you an automatic email anytime a document is recorded under your name. Just head over to riskweb.vacourts.gov/VA Deed Alert to register your name or tax parcel ID. It takes 2 seconds and gives you so much peace of mind.
And of course, please keep in mind that this explainer is strictly an educational guide to help you navigate the county system. It definitely does not replace professional legal advice. Property laws are super complex, right? So whether you're trying to change a name on a deed or dealing with a messy property dispute, always consult a qualified real estate attorney. You need strategies that are tailored specifically to your individual circumstances.
So I want to leave you with this thought today. Do you know exactly where your deed is right at this very moment? Seriously, don't wait for a last-minute panic when you're trying to register for school or refinance your home. Take a few minutes today, jump on the iCare system, find your deed coordinates, and make sure your property documentation is securely in your hands. Thanks for hanging out with me on this explainer, and happy organizing.